Howdy, wheats and tares. So, before I started YouTube, I made a little notebook, as you can see, back in 2011. All right, 10/17/2011 is when I started this page. And then I started making predictions about when I thought stuff was going to take place, and it would lead to the takeover and destruction of America, all that stuff. And one of the things, as you can see right here, politicians, bankers, elite gunned down in the streets. Like what just happened. Okay, now this is where all the real intense stuff is going to start. I expect lockdowns to come. I've been meaning to make a video about that. There is a show called Revival. I have done a video or two on it already. So I was going to do that anyway, so I'll just make this all in the same video. Uh, I will show that when they happen. I'm just putting it here now. There is a show called Revival. It came out a couple months ago on the Sci-Fi Channel, and it talked about lockdowns. And they just released the Charlie Sheen documentary, and which was wild, by the way. And in that documentary, they talked about one of the times where he got in trouble because can't remember if it was his fight with one of his fights with one of his ex-wives or whatever, and he wasn't arrested, but they said he was put on lockdown. They said Charlie Sheen spent most of Christmas Day on lockdown. Okay, so we're going to leave that here too as well. Now, this is insane. I should have started the video with this, so I didn't, but I want to thank my mom, father, and family on the other side. Like, I just want to thank them so much for the guidance and the eyes to see and the ears to hear all this stuff, because I dodged a bullet like you wouldn't believe with this stuff. Okay? So, and this is this is not a shameful self promotion. Just bear with me on this. It all just hit me yesterday, and I'm just so thankful that I was shown this stuff. So I made this. My company, we made this movie, this documentary called Clerk: The Story of Louis Finley Day. This guy is a local celebrity here in. I live in Wood River. He lives in Alton. He works at a big grocery chain. I'm not going to mention him. I worked there for 5 years. That's how I met him. And then I sued them, and it settled out of court in a few months. So if you got the truth and you know what you're doing, that's how quickly this is a multi-billion-dollar company, and settled out in a few months. Okay, so I left there, but he and I stayed in contact. That was in 2018. And so I found out last year that he was born on Valentine's Day, right? So he got a day named after him. So now Valentine's Day is forever known as Louis Finley Day. That's this guy right here. And that happened last year. So I just got wind of it earlier. I think it was around in March. And so I called him up and was like, dude, we should make a documentary. This is amazing. You're amazing. Your story's amazing. It's so cool. Let's do a documentary. So we did a documentary, and it's been amazing. It's completely turning Alton upside down. We've got it submitted to a bunch of film fest. It's making people cry, give them goosebumps. Okay, now here's where this comes into play. So, so I reach out to the lady. She is probably in her 20s, and I ask her. She runs a Facebook page in Alton, and it's called All Things Alton. I'm going to mention that. And she talks about community things, but she also is real political, like anti-Trump, all this kind of stuff, which anyone who watches my videos, I don't like either side. I just don't play that shit, and because I know what I'm doing. It's all a scam. It's all a stage show. Like William Shakespeare said, the world's all a stage. So I don't buy into the shit predicted. Everything where we're at right now, anybody who's been watching my page knows that to be true. Okay, but people do their thing. What am I? You can't bother nobody. Free will, you have to come to this realization on your own. So I reach out to her and I say, what would really be great for this documentary if we could have someone talk, because she is the one who started the whole thing about getting the day named to Louis Finley Day. Submitted it to the mayor, wrote up a proclamation. The mayor came to the grocery store, presented Louis with this proclamation. This is an official historical real thing. That's why I wanted to do it, because like, he is a local historical figure. People will love it, and I couldn't have been more right. Okay, so I reach out to her and I say, what would really be awesome for this documentary if we could get you telling the story of how you started started the proclamation to get the name of the day changed, Valentine's Day in Alton to Lewis Finley Day. And so she's like, great, love it, I'll help you out. And she does a video, okay? Now, I was already looking for stuff because, again, remember, she's into propaganda, so she's wearing the propaganda shirts, all this kind of stuff, whether it's, anti-Trump, all this leftist liberal shit too, okay, which I'm not going to get into. So I watched the video, and I'm immediately looking for a shirt. Nothing on the shirt, nothing screaming at me. Great, I can't believe, and the message is awesome, the video is awesome, it's going to be great for the documentary. I think it's awesome. So I'm watching it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like, this is great. There's nothing in here. Oh my gosh, this is perfect, right? Miss it all. I completely miss it. And then I finish editing, and I don't remember if it was the next day, if it was a few hours later. I edit downstairs in the studio. I'm upstairs. I'm watching the news or looking at headlines or whatever, playing a game, watching a movie. I don't remember what I'm doing. I was completely detached from working on this project. And all of a sudden, I'm out loud just going, oh, wow. And I go back and I watch the video, and she's got a hat on that says 8647. And she is all about, and keep in mind, this is after the guy got shot at, which again predicted all. I have this even on my Lockdown Living Room comedy show where I predicted the assassination attempt, or the assassination, I thought, altogether, of Trump. But anyway, so it hits me and I go, oh my gosh, 8647, that almost, and so this whole documentary is about love. It's a message of love. The guy was born on Valentine's Day, and it is available on the website, cheapafvideos.com. It is the most uplifting, like, this greatest documentary you can watch. His place burned down in 2018. The community rallied behind him. The guy made $10,000 overnight on a GoFundMe. Blew everybody's mind because no one's ever even heard anything like that before unless you're a major celebrity. And that's what all the newspapers came in to talk to this guy, and they said, we haven't even heard of anything like that. You raised $10,000 overnight on a GoFundMe. They had to stop the well, that's in the documentary. I'm not even going to talk any more about it. You're talking about him rallying around a community and then a community rallying around to him. It's the most amazing story of humanity that you could hear, especially right now. So it's all about love. And then I've got this woman in here, Legion, throwing that propaganda kill bullshit. So what do? I cut her out completely except for her voice. It starts out with her face so she can see herself. And as soon as you can see what's on her hat, I cut everything out, and I cut to just pictures and videos and stuff of the issuing of the proclamation and how the day got changed to Lewis Finley Day, showing the picture or the videos of the mayor giving him the proclamation itself, the headlines and stuff where he's been in the news and the newspapers. And talk about, and then you have this happen. We released this documentary at the end of June. And so here we're not even 3 months later. And I told Lewis, I said, I had to cut her out, and he was all about it. And I said, I'm not even going to tell her to promote this on her Facebook page. Like, I'd love to have the help, but we're not even going to do it. And he was all about it. He's like, no, we don't need that. So that's how we roll. We could use every bit of word of mouth that we could to promote this, but even came to the, nope, don't need that. We don't need you. We love the help, but we don't need you. That's how we roll at Cheap AF Videos. You don't like it? Tough shit. We don't need you. So I told him, now I can't wait to talk to him because I haven't spoken. I'm going to talk to him just here shortly. And I can't wait to say, now think, because we had this whole conversation. I said, can you imagine this documentary about love, and then we got this clown in here saying kill somebody. And now it's not 3 months later and someone gunned down in the streets, man. And this is what happens when you normalize scaring people and threatening people like we did with COVID. It was way too easy for everybody to sit in their house and start yelling, witch, witch, burn the witch, kill the witch. And now this is what happens. You all ain't done this. This is where now the crazier stuff, now you're not going to be able to just hide in your house. Because they're going to come to you now. Just like he said, right? Even if Trump's not alive for this next part. Like he said, we're going to have the military come door to door and do that vaccine in a I can't remember, something manner, forceful manner, aggressive manner, some kind of manner. That's what the dude said. And so since this is how we roll, you got half the country that's cheering us on and half the country that ain't. Boy, oh boy, we are in a whole bunch of shit. You're going to have sleeper cells activated, and who knows what's happening. And here's a good way to tell if whatever common atlas, if it's really a common or whatever the cuss that thing is that the closer that thing gets and the weirder it gets, the probably more intense it gets around here. And that can tell you that whatever that is or whatever that's bringing is must be something. So I am grateful for the eyes to see and the ears to hear, because otherwise, and that thing she just about snuck that 8647 hat. I would show you, but I don't want to show her face. Oh my gosh. Just, it's funny how this stuff works. Grateful, grateful, grateful. I would, because how am I going to have that in film fests, man? I'm showing it to film fests right now. We're waiting to hear back for the rest of the year. I've got it in at least 5. There's going to be 2 more. And you're getting, one is September 30th. We get 2 more notifications next month. There's 2 more in January, and 2 of them are local. One's Route 66, and one's over here in Godfrey, Illinois, at the Lewis and Clark Community College. I don't want this in Film Fest if it's got this propaganda in there. Like, holy, and how many people would see that, and then wouldn't even make it into the Film Fest because it's got the propaganda on there? Because they're already saying that places like Office Depot, well, I've seen that. I mean, it's just one video. It's just one video on Twitter. But there are already videos surfacing of people taking Charlie Kirk video posters, trying to get them printed at Office Depot, and Office Depot won't do it because it's propaganda. So I just am internally grateful, because if this thing gets knocked out, if any of these film fests don't make it in there, and if that hat was in there, I would just immediately just blame the hat and be like, and I understand how that sounds, but I just be like, well, great, thanks a lot. I understand that maybe whatever. I'm not even going to go any further than that. So I'm so grateful. And man, Legion is sneaky. They're so sneaky with I was looking, and it just about got by me. Whoo-wee. And then what's funny is, this is a true story, is that then she got in trouble. I had nothing to do with this. I didn't criticize her for it. I just said, hey, thanks a lot. Appreciate your help. And that was all I said to her. I never told nobody. I never spread the word on social media. I found out from Lewis like a few weeks later that she got in trouble because she's on. It's supposed to be all things Alton, not all things kill Trump. It was all things Alton. And so people got onto her because she was doing too much anti-Trump, get the guy, doing all these rallies, holding the banners, and people got onto her saying, hey, this is supposed to be all things Alton, not all things anti-Trump. So isn't that funny how that works? Sounds like we're in agreement. So best of luck. Be careful out there. Godspeed, and I mean that. Because we're in a real... This is when the not so fun stuff, even for me, comes forward. Because it was hard enough to watch COVID. It's going to be even harder to watch now. What have you done for love today? The best defense against this thing, and a Legion and Capricorn, and the best thing to open and keep your eyes and ears open. Open heart, open mind, open eyes. Thank you for listening.